Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us for a CBS 8 Plus extended forecast on what is going to be a very hot week. Temperatures have already started to warm up. Today into tomorrow is where we start to see that gradual climb. And then in particular, Thursday and Friday, very hot days ahead. We are going to see a little bit of a cool down by the weekend, meaning we won't be as hot as Thursday and Friday afternoon, but temperatures are still going to be above average. So we'll walk you through day by day coming up in just a bit. But I want to start off with where we are along the coast. The coastline continues to be the most mild and comfortable place in the county to be. Still, temperatures are expected to make their way to the upper 70s and low 80s out there. We did have a bit of cloud cover in the morning stretch. That cloud cover is slowly breaking apart, and we get more and more sunshine as the day continues. We can thank these westerly winds for giving us that gradual surge of sea breeze, as we call it, helping to keep the coastline a bit more mild. But when we say mild, we still mean 80s out there and climbing as the week progresses. So we want to talk about what that means for us in terms of how we should be treating this excessive heat across San Diego County. First off, inland temperatures are going to be peaking between 98 and 110 degrees going through our inland valleys. That is typically where we see our deserts peaking. So to see these very densely populated cities peaking around 110 degrees is going to be a sight to see, and that's why we see such a coinciding of these heat-related alerts and heat-related illnesses, because heat is one of those killers out there that you don't see. Consistently, heat beats heat-related deaths, beat out tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, all because, largely, you don't see heat-related illnesses until they've already started to set in. So what we suggest is that when we see these heat-related alerts, an excessive heat warning, for example, that you avoid the strenuous activity outside, that you seek AC or at least know where to find it, shade, water, all important factors, and make sure to be following those same tactics for your animals, for young people, for older people, all groups that are susceptible to heat-related illnesses. When we look at our heat index, today is the green line, tomorrow is the blue line, and then purple on the screen here is Thursday, which is where we're expected to hit our peak. That Thursday peak gets dangerously close to a heat index of about 105 degrees, meaning that is the feels like temperature out there. That is where we really start to see heat-related illnesses set in and everywhere above it. So we're going to be watching in particular for Thursday and Friday, because while you might look at this afternoon high temperature map and say, these are hot temperatures, and they absolutely are, you can add about 10 degrees to what you see here, and that's what we're expecting into Thursday afternoon and Friday afternoon. 78 in Carlsbad this afternoon, 77 in Del Mar. Coastal communities continue to hang on to those more mild conditions, upper 70s and low 80s. 92 for Escondido, 97 for Ramona. Alpine going for a high of 93 degrees today. So again, Ramona could easily make it to 107 as that afternoon high, adding 10 degrees onto it by the time we get to Thursday and Friday. But today is our day of heat. We don't get to excessive heat until tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when the National Weather Service has signified an excessive heat warning will take effect for our inland valleys, our mountains, and our deserts. Tomorrow morning, we could wake up to a bit of fog out there along the coastline, upper 70s possible, and then 80s for Thursday and Friday along our coastline. Temperatures, they do slide a bit going into the weekend and early next week, but as you can see, they're not going to get to the same cool territory that today and tomorrow are. Upper 70s today and tomorrow, 80s last from at least tomorrow through, I'd say, the middle or so of next week, meaning that it is a cool down generally, but there's also a possibility that we see this weather impact alert extended because of an excessive heat warning being extended into Saturday and Sunday, just because of those 90s on there. Still going to have some passing clouds across our inland valleys. Chance of fog out there is not going to stretch to our inland valleys quite as much, but there could, again, just be some passing clouds in general. 102 on Friday is our peak, and then sliding by about 10 degrees by Monday of next week. For the mountains and deserts, mountains are going to peak in the triple digits at 104 Thursday and Friday. By the time we get to our deserts, we're talking 115 degrees out there. Plenty of sunshine countywide, but by the time we get into this end of the week and weekend stretch, Friday through Sunday, we could be talking about another possibility of seeing some monsoonal moisture back in the mix. That means some pop-up showers, some pop-up thunderstorms perhaps if things get too intense. across those two microclimates. So that's what we'll watch out for specifically by the end of the week into the weekend. You can also keep up to date with this. This is a good opportunity to have that CBS 8 app on your phone. If you download it to your phone, we can send you push notifications when these heat-related alerts get issued. So right to your device, you'll get info on the excessive heat warning, possible heat advisory if we see that issued. Other parts of the state currently do. It's also just a good app to have for the latest on your local news and traffic as well. In the meantime, we will see you every weekday morning starting at 5 a.m. You can also watch us on our midday shows at 11 a.m. and noon. Have a great Tuesday.